And we are live. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and Facebook. Oh, and we're on TikTok. This is our first time on TikTok. Hey, everybody from TikTok, and we'll be right back with you, Howlers. We'll be right back. Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
This is Ambishun, the Black Cup.
It's Melanie.
It's Melanie. So
It's me, Melanie.
we have a very special guest today, and we're gonna have her introduce herself to our audience. Tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Eleanor. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm the owner of Dauntless Athletic Performance. So I specialize in sports performance and rehabilitation, and specifically, I work a lot with rock climbers and jiu-jitsu athletes. So it's really my goal for everybody to be able to not feel alone when they're in rehabilitation, because I think that's an important part. A lot of the people that I see have kind of gone through other therapists, have gone through their doctor, and they're not really sure kind of like what to do next. And so that's kind of where I step in, and I continue to be a resource for people. So I help them crush their goals on the mats and on the walls, and hopefully keep them in competition for a long time.
Don't you do jiu-jitsu yourself?
I do.
I was
I
just
do
gonna
both.
ask,
I
yeah.
do jiu-jitsu and I rock climb, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where
Yeah.
are you based out of?
I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. I'm inside of
okay.
Vita Wellness Suites. Shout out to Denise Hernandez.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
Not very long. So actually, I've only been in, not in practice. I've been in practice for a while, but I've been inside of Vita Wellness Suites for about
I think
8 months. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I opened my practice almost a year ago. It'll be a year on September 10th. So it's coming up. Hey.
So let's talk about how we connected. Because shout out to
Yeah.
my brother, Michael Casas.
Thanks,
So
Michael.
so my brother goes to her. Yeah, he does
Okay.
jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet, and he's been having some issues. But he's a diesel tech too, so he's having issues with his elbow right now, I believe. And why don't you just for the audience too, why don't you break that down a little bit? Like if somebody like him came in from doing jiu-jitsu technician, what did you do with him?
Yeah, for sure. So with Michael specifically, and Michael, I hope you're cool with me sharing this.
I know, I'm like, not
Yeah.
too
It's
much
cool.
information.
Not too much information.
But he gave the okay.
We're
to
gonna
bring
give
you
all
on,
the
so-
information. He's my brother, so he's my little brother. We be punking. I be
PHA,
punking him.
guys, PHA.
I also always ask if people are okay if like I tag them and stuff, and he let
Yeah.
me do like some videos and things. So shout out,
Okay.
Michael.
This is
Thank you very
big brother
much.
bullying
Big
right
bro-
now. I'm gonna do
Big
it for
brother
you.
energy.
He's like, I didn't need authorization.
I don't need none of that, Mike. I know he's watching too. I know
He
that.
signed off already, so it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, so when I actually met up with him at an open mat that I kind of tabled at 10th Planet Redlands, because
Okay.
I go to their open mat sometimes too. I'm good friends with Rick. Funny small
Rick
backstory.
was on the pod.
Rick was,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
he was on the
yeah,
pod.
yeah. I saw
Yeah.
that too. The funny thing is, Rick was actually my first big break, and he was my first client that I saw that like wasn't with my friend. So I saw him about a year ago, and he introduced me to Michael during that open mat.
Oh, okay.
And Michael was like, "Oh, my neck is hurting, but my elbow's
My neck,
hurting."
my back,
Yeah, I hit my back, my neck, everything. I was like, "Oh, did you just get neck cranked? Like, where is this from? You get arm bar?" And he's just like, "I don't know." And then I always take everybody through like a 15-minute consultation just to see like, okay, are we a good fit together? How can I help you? Because of course, like something that I have to accept for myself too is that I can't help. I don't know everything. It's not really possible for me to see everybody, and I usually like to use my clinical judgment and experience to say like, okay, are we a good candidate to be able to work with each other? Is this something that I'm knowledgeable about? I'm not shy to say like, hey, if somebody has like a knee injury or something that I don't know anything about, but I'm not going to be able to see you, but I know somebody that can.
And it's like getting
Yeah.
dissed on a date or something.
Well, I mean,
Nah, keep going though. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, occupational therapy, you focus on like all body parts, or is it like upper limbs, lower limbs, all over?
Yeah. So this is gonna be my favorite part. So let's talk about occupational therapy first. So when I think about occupational therapy, I think about an occupation. So an occupation is any activity that's important to you and me that occupies our time. So it could be different based off of like whatever job I do. So for example, I work 2 jobs. So I also work inside of a hospital. Inside of a hospital, I help people with self-care, getting self-dressed, bathed, using the restroom, those kinds of things. So those are really important for us. But like we don't think about that really because those are things that happen on a day-to-day basis, right? So, but for me at my practice, an important occupation for people is sports. So sports for people, like getting people to be able to work well, like your brother, and being able to maintain a healthy body. So one of the interesting things about my practice is that I'm actually the only occupational therapist that does sports rehab in the kind of like Southern California, even West Coast, I think.
No way, really?
There's a couple other occupational therapists that do it, but they're in the East Coast. They're in Jersey. So I have been able to talk to him a couple times, but it's hard to like understand how I all fit in this. And so it's really been like an interesting battle to justify myself within my own discipline. Like I know a few occupational therapists that I've tried to share this with, and they're like, no, traditionally occupational therapists only do upper body and they only work with what we call activities of daily living. So that's self-care stuff. So, I like to say I've been raised as an occupational therapist. You know, I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. To be told, like, no, we don't step on toes. Like, we don't do the full body. But if you think about it, it's important to be able to understand the whole body in order to be able to help people maintain a healthy lifestyle and like maintain a healthy body. Because at work, you're not just like, you know, putting your sweater on and that's what you do for work, right?
Yeah.
Like your brother does a lot of diesel things and he's a mechanic. And so what's going on with his elbow, because he was like, well, I think it came from jujitsu. And I'm like, what do you do for a living? And he's like, oh, I'm a mechanic. I'm like, okay, how many hour blocks do you do that? He's like, oh, I'm usually like, you know, upside down fixing cars for about 2-hour blocks at a time for God knows how long. I was like, 8 hours, 12 hours? He was like, sometimes more. So, you know, that's like wear and tear, but it's also important for us to be able to see like that's a part of the big picture. So it's not just he has jujitsu, that's important to him, but that's just a small part of the picture of everything that goes on in his life. So it's also important for me to understand what are the different roles that you have? What are your responsibilities? And how can I help you in a more holistic way?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he basically is getting it from being a diesel tech because
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, because he
For how many years?
So you're saying
too?
he can't fight is what you're saying?
yeah, no, so he wants to for being
He
a
could beat
diesel
me
tech,
up.
right? So he wants to do jujitsu. He doesn't want to be hurt to do jujitsu.
Makes sense.
That's literally what's
Yeah.
going on with him. Like,
So he's trying to get his body
Yeah,
right and
he-
in
he-
shape in order to be able to perform.
yeah,
to
he's
the max,
he's mad
basically.
because he can't train because his
Yeah.
elbow hurts from being a diesel tech.
Of
though.
course.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
he
basically
doesn't
what's
realize that it's actually coming from that.
I know.
And
Tell
so
his big
that's-
brother tells him this is what it is.
Or we have confirmation here.
Oh, it takes another opinion, but it's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
no one ever listens to family. No, it's like a kid. Well, what got you into occupational therapy in general?
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting story too, just because I feel like I hop, skipped, and jumped all over the place. So I went in high school. I always thought I was going to be an architect. My dad really loved that, and I was like, oh, I really suck at math. Like I can't do this. And so I was always, I was like, well, Mom.
You're not alone.
I was like,
sorry, Dad.
math, don't math. My dad was like, it's okay,
Math is
kid, it's
not
all
bad.
right. Yeah.
Okay, kid.
But then I always ran track. So I've been an athlete my entire life. And so when I gave up on like the math thing in high school, I kind of looked up to our athletic trainer quite a bit because I was always just like, and my shins hurt, like I tripped. I was just like this frail little girl. And so I started to look up to him and he was like, yeah, I really wish I did physical therapy. And so that kind of what carried me through into my undergraduate. So I graduated from Cal Poly Pomona, shout out Broncos, in 2012. But I had quite the like therapy crisis because I remember going in my freshman year with all of the other people, you know, freshman orientation and everybody else that's doing physical therapy. And I was just like, damn, like, I don't feel like I fit in with these people. But I was kind of hell-bent on, like, I want to do therapy, but I didn't think there were any other disciplines of that. And so for the first maybe 3 years, it took me 5 years to get out of Cal Poly because I wanted to do different things. For the first 3 years, I was kind of like, okay, I'll do this, but then I also realize like, damn, I really suck at physics and chemistry was like not my thing. And then those are like the two big subjects that they look at. Like I was cool with all my kines classes, but once you get me into like freaking biomechanics and stuff.
So
like,
what?
dude,
That was more for like physical therapy. You're saying? Because
Yeah.
I was gonna ask what's the difference between occupational therapy and physical. So this is the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I would say, just real quick, the difference between that is that we take a look at the person as like an entire picture. There's lots of different ways. There's like a neurological aspect. There's different roles in their life. The environment can take an impact on how people recover and those kinds of things. And I think now, having studied greatly under like physical therapists and taken like orthopedic classes and certifications and stuff for my practice, I can say that physical therapists really take a look at quality of movement. Like we think differently. Because I used to tell myself like, why didn't I just do physical therapy? Like I don't understand why I'm being like this. Like why do I have to take the hard route? But then I
Just
take
tell
a
them
look
you're
at
better. Just tell them you're better.
No, I'm not. I'm well rounded. I outthink outside the box. No. But I truly feel like they're very like calculative. I see like, oh, math people. Oh, like there's a lot of physics, excuse me, and a lot of like needing to understand measurements and things, which is not my strongest suite. So I think I was made to understand things from a holistic point of view and then understand the orthopedic, because I feel like now I get it. Like now I have the room in my mind to be able to say like, oh yes, measurements. Oh yes, like this is what it means to have like an ACL that doesn't work, that doesn't biomechanically work well with the knee, and like those kinds of things.
Yeah, like the basic
So.
standards of what you're doing in your trade, but then also the deeper stuff when it comes to like the sports and all those other kind of injuries. So
Yeah, exactly. I feel like
you can kind of tweak it to the individual because everyone's different. I work in the medical field too. That's my first job, but so I've always been a person that's like screamed, teach me or treat me like as my own person, not like everybody else. Because in the medical field, a lot of times I feel like physicians kind of tend to treat everyone the same, especially in the corporate world. So
Do you do that?
No.
that's why she has her own business.
Exactly. That's why I have my own practice. Like
Yeah.
it drives me crazy to an extent, like at the hospital, because as much as I truly feel like I was meant to be an occupational therapist, but in the hospital you get people like, and I'm in San Bernardino too for my other job, and so you.
That says it all.
There's only so much. I tell people like begging people out of bed is an art. Like I have to beg myself to get out of bed in order to beg people out of bed. I was like, sometimes I'd be like, God, please let it not be like full moon. I never believed in the full moon and what it can do until I worked at this specific hospital. Like, oh my God, this past weekend I worked at the hospital. Like so much shit happened. Like I was like, damn. I was like, was it the full moon? Like,
Look outside.
I know.
What's happening?
I know. Yesterday was my weekend day, and I remember like talking to some
And
of
that
my
job is in
coworkers.
San Bernardino?
Yeah, it's at San Bernardino. Oh yeah, it's in the heart of San
There's
Bernardino
only two
too.
good hospitals over there. And there's a
Yeah.
problem for both of them.
Yeah, you can get a little glimpse of like. So I just don't feel. My coworkers. That's okay. I don't feel purposeful there, like because, in a regular hospital, the one that I'm at, people are just. It's a transitional place. The doctors are trying to get them. They're in, and they're trying to get them out as soon as possible to like a skilled nursing facility, rehab, home.
Yeah, I was gonna like acute rehab kind of thing. Is
Yes,
where
I
you're
do
at
acute
now,
rehab.
right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
I kind of was looking
Or
at your
acute
page.
care. I'm sorry, acute care.
Okay.
So acute rehab is like they'll stay for 2 to 4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
but acute rehab is like where they're like we have to determine where they're going. So basically, my job is just to make sure they can get out of bed and like go to the bathroom on their own. That's my biggest goal. But I feel like there's only so much progress that people can see. And I think like before I started Dauntless Athletic Performance, it was really wearing me down because I just didn't feel like I was fulfilled in it at all. I was like, man, like I love occupational therapy. I love helping people. I went into this job to serve people, but like all these angry people, like, is this a hotel or is this a hospital? Like, what? Like, why am I here? Like, I remember telling myself, like, I can't work, and I don't work full time at that place. Like, I can only work so many days in a row at this job before I don't like the person that I become once, like, when I'm in this job.
So how long have you had your own practice for, though?
A year, right?
A year?
Mhm.
But
Year and a
the
half.
first job, how long have you been there?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but with Dauntless Athletic Performance, so this is actually my second try at it. The first time that I tried was about a year into me being an occupational therapist. So I graduated from Loma Linda University in 2016. And then I did some outpatient ortho stuff in a different state and those kinds of things. And I came back home and I was just like not really sure what to do with myself at the time. It was just like not a very pleasant time in my life. And I just really wasn't sure like where life would lead me next or like where God would take me next, basically, you know. And so I ended up falling in love with rock climbing. That's when I started. I started in 2017. And I remember little by little I would hear like people just like complaining like, oh, my shoulder hurts, like my knee hurts. They're like, well, where do we even go? And at the time, like rehab and climbing was nothing. There was like 2 people. There was one lady, Natasha Barnes, up in NorCal, and then one guy, Dr. Vagey, in LA, but they were like not prominent. Like it was just climbing was just not really well known as it is now. Like climbing blew up after the Olympics. But and so there were like no resources. There's still none. But there were that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, but there are absolutely no resources. There's nowhere anybody can turn. And so I remember just little by little like telling myself, okay, Eleanor, like what if we just had the courage to like go up to these people and just have a conversation, just be like, hey, like how do you feel? No, I'm just kidding. I would just ask like, well, how long has your elbow been hurting? I remember talking to this guy like, how long has your elbow been hurting? Like this is actually what I do for work. Like, would you mind if I take a look at it and that kind of thing? So that's where it kind of snowballed. And then I started this little like volunteer clinic because I think I like to say young Eleanor, young OT Eleanor. I was not confident enough and I didn't honestly feel comfortable charging people. So even like the second time around, it really took like my friends and my mentors to say like, yes, you can do this as a fulfilling career. This is something that you can do. You can help people while understanding the value that you bring to the table at the same time. Yes. So
it has to be lucrative. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know you want to help people and all that, but it has to be lucrative.
Yeah.
Being a business owner is tough when it comes to trying to figure out how much you charge and things like that.
Yes, it is.
So how long you said a year, but how long did it take you to start realizing how much you're going to charge and what are you doing on that?
It's still a process, honestly. Really? Yeah, because like I said, my first time I was just taking donations, and then I ended up dropping that dream because I was just like, oh, I'm not ready. Like people were pushing me. They're like, I'm not ready. I'm gonna go get experience, or I'm gonna save money. That was the excuse that I gave myself. So I ended up hopping job to job before I finally revisited this at my old jiu-jitsu gym. Shout out to Sector Jiu-Jitsu in Corona for pushing me to start this. So figuring out how like what pricing is and like what my value in all of this. Like I kind of started pretty lowball with what my boss was saying too. Like but it took many months. So like from when I first conceptualized it to when I opened was about 6 months. So it took that time to even just be like, okay, Eleanor, like we're gonna be comfortable. We're gonna say this is our price. Yeah, it took like to Rick because Rick was Rick from 10th Planet. He was the first friend, or not. Well, yeah, he's my friend now. But like the first person outside of my friends that I could confidently be like, this is my price. This is my practice. And then after the first one, I was like, okay, like I feel pretty good about that. But honestly, even now, it's still a bit of a struggle for me mentally because like I said, at the end of the day, I want to help people. And I understand that the community that I'm in and like even just the city that I service isn't in a place where I can like charge so much, you know. So I'm also in a business incubator called the Honey Badger Project, which is specifically for clinicians. And I joined it in like late May, early June, and that has changed everything for me. And I will tell you that my coaches, that's the number one thing that they really drill me on, and they've worked on for the first like month and a half is like, Eleanor, you have to understand what you bring to the table. And it's not just like, because before I was just selling session by session and then that was it. And it was kind of screwing me over in a way because I had no stability. So it was like I would have X amount this week and then X amount another week and then nothing the next week. And I was just like, oh shit, like, you know, how do I make this more sustainable for myself? So they really helped me build a system, but we really had to break it down to how much of an understanding do I have of everything, every business building part. So what's my mission statement, my vision statement, how do I embody that? How do I feel about that? And then it goes to what's my offer, and how does that tie into my mission statement? And then my interventions, my skill set, how does that kind of tie into my mission statement? And then the last part is like my marketing. So I've been focusing more on the local, and eventually I'm going to focus on the digital. Like I do Instagram and those kinds of things, but that's kind of on the back burner for me because I'd rather channel my focus on the local because that's where my strengths are.
You'd probably get a lot of more customers through social media too, though.
Yeah, eventually that is something that
I could probably bring my son's whole football team to you in Claremont, and they're not far.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would have brought my son to you just listening to what his back got hurt at one point for a little while. He's good now, but all the like I had to talk to a couple of the parents on the team, and they told me where to take him, and they didn't do nothing really for him. So it wasn't like stuff that like when my brother talked about it with you, I was like, yeah, we need to have her on.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, but what I wanted to ask you though, so you base your pricing off of all of that you just explained right now.
I should broke it down.
Yeah, so that's how you base your pricing. Have you called around at other people that do what you do and kind of find out their pricing?
Yeah, so in the beginning I did like a market value. So I had to see like what my competitors were. So in the area, like, because I service like 3 or 4 different cities in the Inland Empire. So I service Upland, Rancho, Claremont, Montclair, and Ontario, and then I also go down to like Riverside, Redland, San Bernardino, just because my home climbing gym and where a lot of my climbing community is from Riverside. So I'm also down there. So I had to kind of compare what the market value and what my competition would be, and then I kind of based it honestly off of like the home health price. So I did that first, and then but again, that was session by session. And so once I started to kind of understand, like, okay, I have a process, and then I have so much more that I offer than just a session. Then I started to kind of increase my price and understand like what to truly charge beyond that.
But you're more of a specialist too. Like there's not a lot of practices like yours, so you should be able to charge better.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
especially those areas. Those are like kind of like higher.
Parents will pay for their kids to get better like that.
So
They
one
will.
thing too. Sorry, just a second. You're right. It is pretty warm in here.
Yeah, I told you it gets a little hot in because the lights and everything.
Yeah.
And you're in the hot seat, so.
I am.
Turn the AC on.
I'm sweating.
It's
all
on
right.
too.
Making me
Yeah,
cold.
it's
Just
full
wait till
blast.
later.
Buddy.
It'll be really
Oh,
warm.
girl, I know. I was like, oh, girl. I prep
seem-
myself for that.
You seem pretty busy with everything between the hospital, between the business. Outside of work, what keeps you grounded and balanced?
There's several different things. So I jujitsu and rock climbing. So those are my personal goals. So I have the time and the space, and I'll kind of explain how I break that down because everybody says that. They're like, damn, you work too much. Like, do you have time for yourself? Do you have time to breathe? But yeah, jujitsu and rock climbing, I have goals. I've competed in both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I competed in rock climbing a fair bit more than I have in jiu-jitsu, but like what I want is to be able to have 2026 to be my jiu-jitsu year. So that really balances me out, but it's also like I take purposeful time for rest and for disconnect. So aside from that, because yes, like working on my personal goals is relieving for me and calming for me, but there's some times where I just need movement or I need something that's not related to any kind of goal because I, as I'm sure you guys can already tell, I'm an ambitious woman. Like I always feel the need to be working on something, and that's what makes me feel fulfilled and purposeful. So sometimes like I'll go on walks, I'll go on I'll like sit and just do anime and those kinds of things. But
do what?
there's
You said you do what?
I
Anime?
watch anime, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge thing for me.
I thought you were gonna say draw anime or something.
Oh, I can't draw. No.
But it seems like a lot of stuff that you're doing is like it's very purposeful
Yeah.
already.
Mhm.
And I think jiu-jitsu is a great. I mean, I do jiu-jitsu, so jiu-jitsu is a great
Yeah,
sport,
It is.
and it gets you out of everything you just did for training. Training like that's just different.
Yeah,
Rock
it is.
climbing too. I've rock climbed before. I haven't done it like as a sport all the time. I've done it a few times, but yeah, that's a dope sport. It's tough too.
How long have
Yeah.
you been in jujitsu now?
I'm coming around 3 years. I started in 2023. Yeah, my nephews and my brother-in-law, they all do it, and I watched them for 3 years, and I was just like, the athlete in me, I was like, I can't not try this. Like, I
Yeah.
can't not do it, like, not be a
Where
part
do you
of it.
train right now then?
I train at Tens Planet in Chino Hills with Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know the Chino Hills one.
Yeah, and I also go to Tens Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Corona, too. So those are kind of my two
Corona.
schools.
They just opened
yeah.
another one here in Fontana.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. Yeah, they're partnered up with Riverside, I believe, in Rancho.
You like that? You like 10th Planet a lot?
I do.
That's a good one. So
I
you do no-gi. You like no-gi jiu-jitsu then?
I do. I did like gi for a while, but it kind of ran in with climbing. Like I dislocated my thumb, like early 2024, and I was just like, that's it. Like I can't, because I couldn't climb anymore, and I figured out like I get kind of depressy when I don't have both sports. 'Cause I was like, well, if I can give up one for
Really?
the other, I can't. Like I've had several friends ask me like, well, if you could pick one, which one would it be? I was like, climb jitsu. Like just I can't not. I'm gonna be the
Merge it
most
together.
I'm gonna be the most prepared person to like fight anybody who tries to strangle me while I'm
On
rock
the
climbing on the
rock.
mountain. Exactly. Like that's gonna be me, guys. Like
How'd you get into rock climbing?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah, so when I was in grad school, I had several friends that did rock climbing. They were asking me to do it, and I've been
Go to Hanger? Is that where you?
yeah,
Hanger? Yeah.
yeah. I got a Hangar 18 in River. I float around, but Hangar 18 in Riverside of Arlington is my home gym.
Okay.
That's where all my friends are. So, yeah. So in grad school, like I had a bunch of friends that were doing it, and I was interested at the time, but like I feel like I was just too overwhelmed with grad school itself. I was like, I don't know how you guys are taking care of that. I ain't gonna do that. So, I moved away for quite a while, but still kept interest in rock climbing. Like I rock climbing a bit when I lived in Portland. Michigan didn't really have any rock climbing. I was just like in the rural area, so it's impossible. So when I came back, I kind of joined my friends. They're the ones that encouraged me, like got me out of the house per se, and encouraged me to try it. And I feel like I just fell in love with it. It was like Disneyland for me. I remember the only thing that was holding me back was the fact that my skin could not do it anymore. Cause like
hands.
the plastic, yeah, it would just rip your skin. Like for me, like once you build up the calluses and the endurance, like it's fine. But when you're first starting out, or even if you take like a break, oh my God, like my hands just get so raw. Like I just can't do it every single day, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's a good sport though.
it's fun. I love
I've
it.
not like fully like went into it. I've just done it a few times
Mhm.
at Hanger with my kids and stuff, and that's a great sport. You see these people are like completely in it. It's just crazy.
It's a
Some of the
lifestyle,
stuff they're
baby.
doing. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool though.
Yeah.
So you like you're basically like action sports. That's kind of your thing, right?
Mhm.
You like to be like tested.
Only moderately dangerous sports.
Moderately.
Because if you think about like I could potentially get very seriously hurt with either sport. Like rock climbing, I suppose not as much because I'm used to it and I understand like I'm not gonna do stupid shit like jumping off of something that's too high. But in like jujitsu, anything can happen because it's person contingent. So in climbing, like you don't necessarily have to have a partner. You can do it on your own. There's no classes. But in jujitsu, like you have to have a sparring partner, a drilling partner, and like we spar every class. So I know in like other combat sports, you don't spar every single time. But like so if you go, because I used to train 4 times in the week, and so if you go, like you're constantly sparring. So like your body sometimes just can't catch up to that. So yeah, but it's cool. I love both sports equally. I feel like I can maybe tolerate being without jujitsu a little more because it's my newer sport. Excuse me, but I already figured out that I can't be without climbing. Yeah.
That's your main go-to then.
Yeah, it is. That's my calming. Like when I'm upset or when I'm like really stressed out, I lean on like long climbs. So I like going on like the really tall walls and just climbing. I run laps on that. I'll go at like 8 or 9, like right before they close when it's quiet. and just like run laps on things, kind of calm me down. Mm-hmm.
So where beyond sports and being an athlete, even your career, what else keeps you grounded?
So I'm a Christian, and my faith really drives me. I feel like a lot of what has happened in my life, I feel like I would have dealt with things differently if I wasn't a Christian. I've been through like a lot of tough times. Everybody has tough times, but I like really hit rock bottom and then came back home and was just like, I can't even believe I'm still here. So that truly keeps me grounded, and that truly like continues to drive me forward. I feel like every large decision that I've made, even starting this practice, like there was a time when I was trying to figure out like what to do, because financially I just like wasn't in a good place, and I'm like tenured at the time. I was tenured like 8 years as an occupational therapist, and so I was like, I don't think I'll have a hard time finding another like per diem job, because I work per diem at my current hospital job. I kept that. And so I was trying to find other jobs just to kind of make it up. And oh my God, I want to say I must have applied for like 40 different jobs, and each job would just say like, yeah, you're just like not quite the right fit. We're looking for somebody full time. We're looking for new grads. I was like, since when are people looking for new grads?
Yeah.
Like, I've been in practice for 8 years, and I was just so confused as to why like nobody would take me. I was like, I really didn't think it'd be this hard to find a job. And that's when like
I feel
my
like
old DT2.
a lot of people straight out of school is going through that though. Big time, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Oh, for sure. Like I can't imagine being a new grad in this day and age, because like back then they were desperate. Like they just needed somebody. They're like, you don't know anything? Perfect. We can mold you. You have 1 year experience? Oh, you're still moldable. Like that's cool. Yeah, but I just feel like I was in a very strange place. I was like, I don't know what to do. What I'm making is not enough. And so I feel like God took everything else away and didn't give me a choice but to move forward with this. And thankfully, like my business sustains itself and it sustains me. So between the two, like I've been pretty cool, and it's a huge blessing to be able to have that.
That's
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
What was rock bottom for you?
Ooh. Yeah, it's cool to share this on this podcast. I was like, is this for this one or for next one? I get a preview.
I know.
No, it's
So
cool.
now I know we're getting
Intro.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I've been married before, and I'm divorced, obviously, and I'm here home now. And I've moved away so often for him. He's a surgeon, so he went to school. Like we sort of met at Loma Linda, sort of not, but he lives like kind of everywhere. And so I was just too young, I think, to understand the situation. I got swept away, and it just was not a good situation. And I think that at the time, like I did not want to exist anymore, to say it nicely. And honestly, having hit that rock bottom was when I feel like I was able to find my own voice. Because I realized too then, because I never lost my faith in any of this, but I tell my mom this too, like there's a huge difference between praying when you're ready to listen, and praying when you can listen and you're a place to be able to hear, and praying in a place of desperation. Because I remember like I was just praying like, God, like please save me from myself. That's all. I could not hear anything, so I really felt like I was by myself. And then a lot of things happened, and then as time went by, I realized like I didn't have to necessarily hear God. I just needed him to move me where I needed to be. And so I was finally able to come home. Like I came home by myself. Like I lost pretty much all of my friends. I was thankful that at least my family was able to believe me and they supported me. And I was like, all of my best friends, my closest friends that I have now, minus like maybe one or two, are people who have loved and supported me from when I've come home. So I truly feel like now I have a circle of friends that actually like understands, loves, and supports me. And I'm like, I have the energy and yeah, just like the spiritual, emotional, mental energy to be able to nurture that too. Because I think God now, like in the season that I am, is teaching me that like I can't do things by myself. Because I think like having come back home, I needed to understand like, hey, like now you have to know what it's like to be by yourself. Like learn how to be where it's quiet, learn how to be on your own 2 feet. I think that was really difficult for me. Like I could not, I just couldn't do it. And I feel like in the past couple of years since 2023, God has really shown me what it's like and shown me what I'm capable of and shown me what it's truly like to have strength that's unique for me and like what value I have as a woman in that way too, because I truly feel like I just like lost myself completely. That was just like a strange time in my life.
So when you found yourself, what did you find out about yourself?
Back then or like now?
Well, back then.
Yeah.
Because you said when you found yourself. So when you did find yourself, what did you find out about yourself?
Honestly, I would more accurately say like me finding myself now, because I really think like, yeah, I got over like the trauma and things that happened with a lot of help and a lot of therapy back then, but I still feel like I carried a lot of who I didn't want to be through like the 2 relationships that I had since then. But I feel like what I'm finding now is that I truly embody like resilience and strength. Like life has brought me to a place where I didn't think I would still be alive, and I always tell people like, yeah, this is my second lease in life. This is truly my journey now. Like this is where I start to live. So I found somebody who is driven, who wants to find purpose, who understands who she is and respects herself. And I think that's the biggest thing is I had to rebuild my self-respect. Like there were times where I would still like kind of bend over backward to try and just like please other people and be easily swayed by other people. But I truly felt like it took God bringing this passion project, Dauntless Athletic Performance, to me to be as strong as I am, because I can say that this is like God has truly brought me to like a good place in my life. Yeah. Like I feel tremendously blessed to like I'm this is for the next podcast, I guess. Like I'm by myself, I'm single, so like but I don't need to rely on anybody for finances. I don't need to like I've built this life for myself, and I always thought those were things that I had to have, that I could only have if I was with somebody, with a partnership. Like having been married and then having gone through like another relationship that I thought I was going to be married to. It's like I always thought like I was so codependent upon that I didn't think I could be me. Like I lost who I was. And so when you say like who did you find or what did you find, like I truly feel like I found myself. Yeah, so I feel like now I'm stepping into this chapter with Dauntless Athletic Performance and like reaching my first year, understanding like what I can bring to the table and like not just for myself, but like to a partner in the future too, because now I don't feel like I'm looking to somebody to be able to fill that. Like I am a whole person and I am a whole woman, and I truly believe that for myself now, because now I see how God made me and how he wants me to be, instead of just being like, well, I'm going to look for a guy to kind of affirm that for me. So yeah, I'm just happy to like be able to stand on my own 2 feet and to be able to understand who I am in God's eyes and respect myself above everything, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Amen to that shit.
Amen, brother.
So are you at peace now?
I am. Yeah, I am. As difficult as things may be, like running a business, and I'm sure you guys can understand too, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. I can't say that there were times where I didn't want to just say like, I just want to give all of this shit up. Like why can't I just be a normal occupational therapist that does a 9 to 5? Like, why can't I just lean on stability? But I truly feel like God made me for more. Like, God did not make me to stay to stay in the same place. And he made me to be a forward moving person, and that's truly what drives me, and that's truly what continues to push me through all of this too. And one of the things too, like I had mentioned that I'm a part of a business incubator, the Honey Badger Project, and I think like that's a huge blessing in and of itself too, because that taught me that the business is still just a business. It's still work. Because before, like, you can ask any of my close friends, like, they'll be texting me at midnight, like, girl, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just sitting down. I'm just getting started on like all my admin work. I would work from like midnight to 2 a.m. because that was my power hour. That was when I was the most anxious, and that's when I was the most fearful, because like I needed to feel like I was hustling in order to be able to feel purposeful. I was like, because again, this is my second try, right? I didn't, and I still don't. I don't want to approach this business knowing, like, even let's just say that this is not something that ends up being successful in the future, just for hypothesis sake. I don't want to approach this business knowing that like I didn't try everything that I can. Like I have turned every single rock. I have tried every certification. I have tried every single business marketing tactic. I have talked to all of the leaders that I can. I've done everything that I can to be able to do this. And I think what the Honey Badger Project has taught me, and their whole pitch, that's not quite the right word, but their whole thing is life
Basically,
design.
mission statement.
Yeah, mission statement is life design. Like you're like, yes, this is my passion project, but it shouldn't consume my life. I'm still needing to be present in every single part of my life. So I think when
I like that.
when you had asked me earlier, like, how are you balancing out your life? I actually wanted to talk about this part too. Is the Honey Badger Project taught me the vase concept, and I love talking about this.
What is this called again? The vase?
The vase concept.
Okay.
Yeah, the glass vase concept. So you have a glass vase. And this represents you and your time, basically. So you have different things that you put in it. So without time management and without mindset work, you're kind of you might have some rocks. So rocks are all of the important things, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, the important things that make you into that vase. You might have a couple, and then the rest of that gets filled with sand. But if you feel like you don't have good time management, or if you're not in control of your time, most of your jar is going to be filled with sand. And so I feel like that's where I was before I joined Honey Badgers. Like I felt like I had no time for anything. I wasn't making, like, I saw my friends, but I wasn't making conscious time for my friends. Like I'm grateful that all of my friends are fantastic and I love them. So they all understood that I was hustling for this, but I was sacrificing so much. Like I was sacrificing seeing my nephews, my family. I was working a lot because I was still working the 2 jobs, right? And so I started to understand how to manage my time better and what my rocks are. So the rocks that you put inside of your vase first include anything that drives your mental health, your physical well-being, your family and friends, so your connections, and then it goes into like your physical well-being. So anything that goes with like sports or anything physical, your physical well-being. Yeah, so like your hobbies and those kinds of things. So that goes into it. And then goes like business building and the actual business itself. So when I was able to kind of separate out and write out in a list of like, okay, I have 6 or 7 rocks in here. I was like, okay, so maybe before I was spending too much time just being anxious and fearful of the next step, that all I was consuming was sand. Like sometimes there's days where I'm just like paralyzed by anxiety. It's so hard to get out of bed, you know? So that day just gets filled with sand. But at the same time, like I had to learn how to be forgiving of myself and be kind to myself, saying like, I can't give 100% every single day. It's exhausting. Sometimes me showing up for myself is 10%. But as long as throughout the week I get to address the rocks that are important, then I'm okay. And then that's how you become present in every single part of your life. And so when people say like, oh my God, like you still work a second job and you're like hustling and you're doing so much, because like I'm constantly doing stuff for the Rancho Cucamonga Chamber of Commerce. I work on my own sports goals. I make time to see my friends. Like if you look at my schedule, I time block everything. So I give myself between 4 to 6 hours to truly do like business building things. That's not aside from like the work that I do in the clinic itself. So that includes like content making, not so much right now, but like planning future events, planning future cohorts, or projects, those kinds of things, because I'm a researcher, and so that's how I want to be able to engage my community, is to do like 12-week research cohorts. So I'm building those projects right now. So working on those, following up on leads. So I give myself 4 to 6 hours to be able to do those things. So that I feel like gives me control. And then I see like, oh, my evenings are actually for me. And so I went from like, thinking that I have no time. I was literally in my office all of the time. When I was at my first office at Tailored Space, I was there till like freaking midnight, just sitting, just laying there like God, why am I doing this? Like, what is my life right now? But thankfully, like I can see everything, and I can actually say yes to when my friends want to hang out. And I tell my friends too, because they're like, oh, I know you're busy. I'm like, no, like this connection that we have is important. And I will always say that I will make time for the people and the things that are important to me. So without the honey badger, I think I would still be drowning. But because of that, I'm able to train. I'm able to take walks. I'm able to relax and have time for myself and really feel present, not just in my business, but in my personal life as well.
Well, it sounds like it opened your eyes.
Yes.
Because I mean, the sand, I mean, if you really think about it, people are normally responding to life. They're not really living life. So they're responding to the bills. They're responding to work. They're responding to all the junk that is going on in life. They're not really able to live it.
Right.
So that's what it sounds like the sand is.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that you said that. I like the whole analogy of the rocks and the sand.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've always kind of seen that, because I feel like when you're a business owner, your eyelids are open to a different world.
Yeah.
And you can't go backwards.
No, you can't.
There is people that do,
unsee things.
but it's almost like they're maybe not meant to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because I have seen people go backwards. They're like, no, I don't like any of this. But most entrepreneurs that become an entrepreneur, that if they do go back because they lost or whatever, they're completely depressed because they already know the other side. They see what's on the other side, so it's hard for them to go back.
Right. Yeah.
And that's crazy that what are you even talking about? Because I feel like most people don't even understand that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like completely different. It's a different world. It's almost kind of lonely if you don't have any support being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And like being a solopreneur myself, like I've had people
I'm not going to understand who you are or what you're doing.
No. Yeah, there's people that are just like, "Well, why are you working 2 jobs? Like why are you?" I'm like, "Well, because I'm not even within my first year." Like honestly, I feel really fortunate and blessed to be as successful in my business that I am. Like I remember one of my OT mentors, shout out to Sharon Pavlovich, she told me like, Eleanor, I'll just be happy if you're like, if you make it past your first 3 months, and if you make it past your first 6 months, you'll know it's sustainable. So I remember cold sweating. I was like, oh God, like what the hell?
Yeah,
like, am I gonna?
But you can't talk to people that are not entrepreneurs themselves, because they'll make you feel like you can't do it.
Yeah.
So even then, like you guys got to be on your own mission, and then you do start finding yourself being around other entrepreneurs, because I mean you're creating something from scratch, and those are only people you can really connect and relate with.
Yeah.
And
I
you guys
wouldn't
can
say
have
that they have to
conversation.
be entrepreneurs. It's more so the entrepreneur mindset.
Yes.
Because there are people who actually have the mindset of an entrepreneur, but they're still boxed into their 9 to 5 because they haven't figured out how to break free yet. So I think it's more so the mindset versus them actually being that.
I think it depends
space.
on the level too, though, because a lot of times people with the mindset, it's almost like saying this guy is in school and he thinks he knows everything, but he really doesn't. You know, like a guy in school thinks he knows, like even the UTI guys with my shop, you know, they come in here thinking, oh, I know how to fix all these trucks. They can't even do one, You know, and so it's kind of I always think it's different. It depends on the mindset because I get those guys all the time. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? Because that's not going to work.
So not really somebody who feel like they know it all, but more so somebody who has a desire to be that entrepreneur. And they do have that mindset that they're trying to work and they're trying to break free. Like I said, you've been blessed to be able to break free. You've been blessed to be able to break free. I've been blessed to be able to break free. Everybody's now have that door to open up so they can make that jump and that leap. And some of us are scared, very scared to make that leap.
Oh, it's always scary.
I was scared shitless.
My barber, shout out to my barber Gianni. He just opened his own shop too.
Doesn't matter. He's not me.
Oh yeah.
I'm just playing.
No, but he opened his own shop up and
Congratulations, man.
He told me he was scared out of his mind.
No, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
So I get it because I know you opened your own shop.
You're
too.
dumping all of your time, all of your money. Like this is my second barbershop that I've opened up that are mine. My first shop, I think I dumped almost $18,000 into my barbershop. Lost it, not paying attention, not focusing. Lost my shop. Money gone. This second barbershop, downtown Riverside, $15,000 to $17,000 put into the shop. More than what I wanted to, but it is mine. But it was scary. Like, am I going to make this money back? Is it going to come back? Is it going to last? All these questions you might ask yourself, but you know.
It's never gonna not be scary. And I think that's the thing too, is like I see both of what you guys are saying and I agree with both. I think because I've been in both. Like I've been where you've been and some of your friends that you were talking about have been, where I'm like just afraid. Like I can't do this. I think that's why I also went my second time, because people were like encouraging me, and I must have had like maybe close to 40 people on my caseload at the time. Like had I just seen that and seen like, okay, this is something that I can do and not been so afraid, I could have been successful at the time. But even when I was starting it, like I had to tell myself like, it's okay to take out business loans. It's okay to feel unstable right now, but it's going to be worth it. Like I have to believe in myself. So it's like and even now, like we're reaching kind of a slow season because like the schools and stuff are getting back in. Everyone's on vacation, and I still have to tell myself like this is exactly what God wants me to do. Like we're gonna keep going. Like there are gonna be opportunities. I'm still going to continue to believe in the crafts that I have and in the value that I have. So I do feel like it also takes the right support system and the right people to push you towards that. Because my friends that were with me when I was first starting this were like relentless. They were like, we believe in you. If we're not going to push you, like you're not going to be able to see this for yourself. So they're the ones that really like shoved me off the cliff and said like, you'll survive, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's great that they did that, but there's going to be times that there's nobody around, and you're the only
me, myself, and I.
Yeah, I'm there so many times. You know, it's like
having motivational
speeches
with yourself.
Exactly. I got HR meetings with myself.
You gotta shut people up.
We gotta do better.
You gotta shut people up around you in reality when they're like, hey, why don't you just.
Yeah, because then sometimes that's noise. You know, it's just distractions, like you said earlier. It's just a distraction to throw you off. Yeah. And, you know, also faith-based, like the enemy will come in and kind of try to knock you down whenever you're vulnerable. So you have to be strong enough in your faith, too, to kind of stay positive and keep pushing yourself and praying and staying in, you know.
I believe when you're an entrepreneur, too, you need to think this is survival. So you got to think, this is all I got. I'm going to go full force and go hard. And nobody's going to stop me. Because a lot of the times, too, even when you see something in front of you, it looks like it's just going to completely collapse. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. And you're gonna go through those times. Like let's put it this way. In my industry, every shop that's been around my industry for 40 to 50 years completely closed down. I had accounts completely closed down. It's been around 40 to 50 years. So my thing is when people are seeing that, they're like, hey, dude, you might as well just pull out. Like you got family members close to you saying, why don't you just like pull out and get another job? I'm like, what do you mean? So I can't even vent to people as an entrepreneur. You gotta pick who you vent to, or not even vent. Yeah. You really gotta go to God.
People try to talk you out of your dream too.
Yeah.
They will.
Oh, for sure. People have told me. Yeah, people have told me. Like I remember when I was first starting this, I had a really close friend of mine, and like this was somebody who was my friend from high school. He told me like, Eleanor, I think you should give up. Like, this is not like the community.
I just want
the
to punch
rock.
him. Makes me so mad when
He
people say that.
understands. He understands now. But like,
Sorry if you're watching.
Take it easy, dude. It's fine. It's fine.
I hate when people say that. Do not tell an entrepreneur that, because we already have so much doubt in ourselves already.
Yeah.
no,
You know?
but that fueled me because that told me that everybody had given up on the rock climbing community. He basically told me like, these people aren't they're not going to follow what you do. But I saw that as potential, and I really saw that as like, these people just need somebody to listen to them, and that ended up what happened. And like the people, my like Hangar 18 OG crew, like they're the people that are in like managerial positions that are really driving and helping me in the rock climbing community. And so like, I feel like that moment where I was just like, oh, so you don't feel that that's worth it for you? I'm like, well, let me take you up on this project. So I took that as like a challenge almost. It fueled me and it drove me to continue.
That's good.
So yeah,
I think that should show too that you do have the passion for it, because sometimes a lot of people can take it as like I'm gonna just go back in my shell and just go over here
maybe I
and
should do
where I'm
something else.
comfortable, and then not really push it, you know.
But then you're gonna be depressed because you're thinking, you're meant for more.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, because this is your second time trying it.
Mm-hmm.
Your other time. I don't know how many times you said.
I mean,
two.
I got a few businesses that I operate in, but I think for me, what keeps me really, really going is that I feel like I don't have a plan B.
Exactly.
I feel like nobody's gonna save me if I fail.
Nobody is gonna say.
There's nobody's gonna be
This
like, you know
is
what?
plan B.
There's like, hey, look, you messed up, man. Here go 15 grand. Start over again.
No.
I don't have nobody to say I got you if you fall. There's none of that. So there's no plan B. It's just you got to make this shit work.
You got to do
Yep.
it.
That's
You
it.
got to make it happen.
Yep.
But I like that. As
It's
much
scary
as I
still.
hate it,
No, it's scary
Yeah.
still.
as
But
much-
it does build a certain level of confidence. It builds a certain level of appreciation in
Yes.
what you are doing, because you've had to build this brick by brick by yourself. You might have a team, but this is your vision.
Yeah, my business coaches call that moving with urgent anticipation. Like you have to have goals and you have to want it bad enough to where you're going to move because you don't want to fail, but not enough to where you're like you don't ever want to be complacent in that way. You don't want to relax per se. You want to move with urgent anticipation. Like you're always wanting to work on the next thing, and you're always pushing yourself to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
stay how you are. You're very ambitious.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
I
you need to stay how you are, because after a while, this does break you down a little bit.
Oh, it already has.
know?
We got quarterly like.
No, you're
I'm like-
still in the game. You're still
Yeah.
in it. Like I could see
I
it.
have quarterly breakdown. I'm like, what is it, March? Oh yeah, is this why I'm crying? Am I due? Like, did I set my timer for this quarterly mental breakdown? Like, yeah,
That's a hard place to stay in.
yeah.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was in that place a long time, but after a while, you're just like you're not gonna take it from me. Like I'm not. You're gonna have to drag me out of here.
Yeah.
That comes to the point where you're like, it's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So but I like that ambition place that you're in, and I feel like it's hard to stay there though. But just keep it rolling. It sounds like, and the thing is, you're very organized. You can tell. You said
Gotta
you
be.
have your calendars and all
I
that.
gotta be.
She's our organization over here.
If you
She
just
has-
look at it, it's like color coded and stuff. I dropped my phone.
my
I dropped my
calendar's
phone.
all color coded.
Let me show you. I know.
So
Ew.
busy.
Oh, no,
Dropped it.
My little sound.
Oh, my damn nails won't let me pick it up. There we go.
Oh, did you?
I dropped it.
we got people in the chat though, so I'm gonna
Can you read
have
that, Mel?
Yeah,
Can you read that?
Mal
Okay, I'll read.
get ready for the buzz, guys.
So, Lemony Fresh News, thanks for watching. So,
Thank you,
another
Lemony Fresh.
one.
Yep.
Self-made,
Let's
getting
go.
paid. I like that.
That's No Remorse.
Oh, what's up, cousin?
Yeah. Is it the goal to break the glass vase?
No, the
When-
glass face is you.
Don't
wanna
break
break
it.
yourself?
Don't break it.
You want to add the rocks. You want
Yes.
to add rocks
Yeah.
to it.
But it also depends on like how, I guess you can look at it this way. It's not breaking it, but like how do you want to expand your glass face? Because I can say like when I was in a darker place, my glass face was maybe just a small cup. Like I didn't have the mental and spiritual or like emotional room to have a big vase. Like for me, being present with myself, being with my mom, and rock climbing were the only rocks that were in my vase. So my vase was really small. But now that I've been through all of those things and I have my business, I feel like my capacity for my life and for myself is bigger, and so my glass vase is bigger. So I wouldn't say the goal is to shatter that. The goal is to like expand and move on to a bigger vase.
I like that.
Growth.
Well, shout out to
Yes,
No
growth.
Remorse and shout out to Lemony Fresh.
Lemony
We don't know who you are, Lemony Fresh, but you're always watching the
What up,
pod.
what up? We appreciate you, man.
Hey. Thank you. No Remorse says to grow and innovate, and do not lower your goals to the level of your abilities.
Burn.
Yeah.
Who
Always-
else?
that-
Oh, that's
Thank
all of
you.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
We
for
appreciate you guys
chiming in.
watching, and yeah, we love seeing the returning fans. So we're actually running out of time, but I want to give you the floor to just any inspirational words, any shout outs, any tell people where you are, like anything
Yeah.
you want to say. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so inspirational stuff, I think like we've said a lot of it. I think that if you have dreams and you believe in them, I say like there's nothing stopping you from at least trying. Cuz of course like we've tried and we've failed. Like don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of rejection, and don't be afraid of failure, because that's really where you thrive. Like, you know, having come from several dark places, like you can't look up to the light without being in the darkness first. So
I like that.
yeah.
Give it the burn. Give it. Give it.
Bow.
There you go.
A little late.
All right, we appreciate you coming on though. You
Thank
killed
you
it.
so much. I appreciate
So
you guys.
she will be on the DNR.
Stay
in
tuned.
about 15 minutes, we'll be doing the DNR. So stay tuned. It's gonna get wild like it always does. So yeah, from business to party. So we appreciate you guys watching.
Here we
So
go.
our slogan is "Shed the Sheep." So on 3, we're gonna get the camera and say "Shed the Sheep." All right, 1, 2, 3.
Shed the sheep.
Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
This is Ambishun of Black Cup.
It's
Melody.
Melody.
I love that. Go-
And it's Eleanor.
we appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, peace.